Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. A perfect man ain't perfect, but he is real. He is honest, he is strong, but not just in his body, in his mind, in his heart, in his soul. First thing, integrity. A man without integrity is just a shadow. If your word don't mean nothing, you don't mean nothing. Speak truth, stand on it, even when it's hard. Respect. A real man respects everybody, his woman, his children, the people around him. You don't have to like everyone, but you will respect them. Discipline. You got to wake up with purpose. You got to move with purpose. You got to stay focused when life tries to pull you down. A man who can't control himself, he's already lost. Compassion. Strength is not how hard you hit, it's how gently you can hold. It's how you lift up those around you when they fall. It's knowing when to fight and when to embrace. Responsibility. Own your choices. Own your mistakes. A boy makes excuses. A man makes amends. Courage. Not just the kind that faces danger, but the kind that faces truth. The kind that says, I will not be afraid to do what's right. Wisdom. A man doesn't just know things, he understands them. He learns from his past. He listens more than he speaks. And when he speaks, people listen. Loyalty. If you say you got someone's back, mean it. If you love someone, show it. If you commit to something, stick to it. Faith. You got to believe in something bigger than yourself. Maybe it's God. Maybe it's purpose. Maybe it's the belief that you are here to make a difference. Resilience. Life will knock you down. That ain't a question. The question is, will you get back up? And last but not least, love. A real man loves fully. He loves his family. He loves his people. He loves with his words, with his actions, with his presence. Because without love, what's the point? Integrity is the foundation of a man's character. It's the core of who he is, the unshakable ground he stands on. Without integrity, everything else crumbles. A man can have power, money, success, even fame, but if his word means nothing, then he means nothing. Integrity is about being the same person in private as you are in public. It's about standing tall when nobody's watching. Because a man with integrity doesn't do the right thing for show. He does it because it's who he is. Your word is your bond. That means when you say something, people can take it to the bank. If you make a promise, you keep it. If you say you'll be there, you show up. No excuses, no backpedaling, no half-truths to save face. A man without his word is like a building without a foundation. Sooner or later, he's going to collapse. Integrity means speaking truth even when a lie would be easier. It means standing on what's right even when it's uncomfortable. But let's be real. Integrity ain't always easy. There will be times when standing by your word costs you something. It might cost you a deal, a friendship, even an opportunity, and that's when a man is truly tested. Because integrity isn't about convenience, it's about conviction. It's about saying, I'd rather lose everything than lose myself. A real man knows that cutting corners, bending the truth, or breaking promises might bring short-term gain, but in the long run, it destroys everything he's built. Integrity is also about taking responsibility. A real man doesn't shift blame, doesn't point fingers or make excuses. If he messes up, he owns it. He steps up and says, that was on me, and I'll make it right. Because a man with integrity understands that trust is earned, and it's earned by being accountable. People respect a man who admits when he's wrong and works to fix it. They lose respect for the one who dodges responsibility, hoping the problem will just disappear. Now let's talk about loyalty and integrity, because the two go hand in hand. If you say you have someone's back, you better mean it. If you give your word to a friend, a partner, a brother, you hold true to that, even when it's inconvenient. A man with integrity doesn't gossip, doesn't betray, doesn't switch sides when the wind blows. He stands firm. He's reliable. He's the kind of man people can trust because they know that when he says something, it means something. Integrity is about consistency. It's not something you turn on and off like a switch. It's not about being honest one day and cutting corners the next. It's a way of life. A man with integrity treats the janitor with the same respect as the CEO. He's the same man at work, at home, and in his community. He doesn't act one way in front of people and another way behind closed doors, because integrity isn't about perception, it's about truth. And here's the thing, integrity isn't just about how others see you, it's about how you see yourself. At the end of the day, when you lay your head on that pillow, you have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and respect the man staring back at you. You have to know that you didn't cut corners, you didn't lie, you didn't sell out for the sake of comfort, because at the end of it all, money fades, status fades, looks fade, but integrity, that's forever. Respect is not something you demand, it's something you give, something you earn. A man who truly understands respect knows that it begins within. If you don't respect yourself, how can you expect anyone else to respect you? That means holding yourself to a high standard, taking care of your mind and body, and carrying yourself with dignity. Respect isn't about arrogance. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to lower your standards for anyone. But it doesn't stop there. True respect extends outward. A man who respects himself must also respect others, no matter who they are or where they come from. A real man treats everyone with dignity. He doesn't look down on people just because they have less. He doesn't think he's better than the next man because of what he drives, where he lives, or how much money he makes. Respect means acknowledging that every person has value no matter their status. You treat the janitor the same way you treat the CEO. You don't belittle people, you don't talk down to them, and you sure as hell don't use your power to take advantage of others. That's not strength. That's weakness disguised as arrogance. One of the greatest tests of respect is how a man treats women. A real man does not degrade, manipulate, or disrespect a woman, whether she's his mother, his wife, his daughter, or a stranger on the street. If you call yourself a man, then your words, your actions, and your presence should uplift and protect the women around you, not tear them down. You don't catcall, you don't lie to get what you want, and you don't play games with people's hearts. Respect is understanding that women are not objects, and love is not a transaction. Respect also means knowing when to listen. Too many men think that talking the loudest means they're the strongest, but the truth is, a real man knows when to be silent. He knows when to listen to his elders, his mentors, his friends, and even his enemies. Because wisdom doesn't come from always having something to say, it comes from understanding that you don't know everything. A man who respects others listens before he speaks, considers before he reacts, and learns before he judges. Respect is not just about how you treat individuals, it's about how you carry yourself in every aspect of life. It means respecting time, yours and everyone else's. You show up when you say you will, you follow through on your commitments, you don't waste people's energy with empty promises. It means respecting hard work, whether it's your own or someone else's. You don't take shortcuts, you don't cheat the system, and you don't look down on people who are out there grinding every day just to survive. And let's not forget, respect is tested in moments of anger. It's easy to be respectful when everything is going your way, but what happens when you're tested? When someone disrespects you? A real man doesn't lose control. He doesn't throw tantrums like a child. He knows that respect is about discipline. You don't let your emotions dictate your actions, and you sure as hell don't let someone else's disrespect pull you down to their level. Strength is walking away when necessary and standing your ground when it matters. At the core of it all, respect is about honor. It's about recognizing that every human being, no matter their race, gender, background, or beliefs, deserves to be treated with dignity. It's about leading by example, showing the next generation what it truly means to be a man. Because at the end of the day, people won't remember how much money you made, how many cars you owned, or how many trophies you collected. But they will remember how you made them feel. And if you live with respect, they'll remember you as a man of honor. Discipline. Stay focused, stay driven, stay sharp. Discipline is the backbone of success. It separates the men who want to be great from the men who become great. See, talent is a gift, but discipline is a choice. It's the ability to wake up every single day and put in the work, even when you don't feel like it. It's the decision to stay committed to your goals, even when the world is throwing distractions at you left and right. A man without discipline is a man without direction, and a man without direction will never reach his full potential. Discipline starts with the little things. If you can't control the small habits in your life, how can you expect to control the big ones? It's about waking up at the time you said you would. It's about making your bed, taking care of your body, showing up to work or training on time, and pushing yourself to be better every single day. A man with discipline doesn't just work hard when people are watching. He works hard when no one's around, because he understands that discipline is not about proving something to others. It's about proving something to yourself. One of the biggest tests of discipline is learning to master your emotions. Life is going to test you. People will let you down. There will be days when you feel angry, frustrated, exhausted, and unmotivated. But discipline means controlling those emotions instead of letting them control you. A man with discipline doesn't snap in a moment of anger. He doesn't make decisions based on impulse. He doesn't quit just because things get tough. He takes a deep breath, he refocuses, and he keeps moving forward. Because he knows that emotions are temporary, but discipline, that lasts forever. Discipline is also about sacrifice. You can't have everything in life. You have to make choices. That means sometimes you have to give up what you want right now for what you need in the long run. A disciplined man knows that success doesn't happen overnight. It happens through years of commitment, hard work, and sacrifice. You want to build a strong body? You've got to say no to junk food, late nights, and laziness. You want to build wealth? You've got to say no to unnecessary spending, bad investments, and quick money schemes. You want to build a strong mind? You've got to say no to negativity, gossip, and distractions. Discipline is choosing growth over comfort every single time. And let's be real, discipline isn't always exciting. It's not glamorous. It's not always fun. Sometimes it's straight up boring, but that's the point. Anyone can work hard when they feel like it. Anyone can stay committed when it's new and exciting. But discipline is about pushing through even when it's repetitive, even when it's hard, even when nobody's clapping for you. The greatest men in history weren't the ones who had bursts of motivation. They were the ones who had consistency. They showed up every day, they did the work, and they became legends because of it. Another key part of discipline is accountability. A man with discipline doesn't make excuses. He takes responsibility for his actions. If he fails, he doesn't blame others, he doesn't point fingers, and he doesn't complain. He owns it, he learns from it, and he keeps moving forward. Too many men let themselves off the hook too easily. They make promises to themselves and then break them without a second thought. But a disciplined man, when he says he's going to do something, he does it. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how long it takes. His word is his contract, and his actions prove it. At the end of the day, discipline is what separates the boys from the men. It's what turns dreams into reality. It's what turns potential into greatness. Without discipline, you will never achieve your full potential, because no matter how talented you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter how much opportunity you have, If you don't have the discipline to stay focused, stay driven, and stay sharp, you'll never see the results you're looking for. A real man is not just measured by his strength, his power, or his ability to dominate. He is measured by his heart. Compassion is not a weakness. It is one of the greatest strengths a man can possess. Too many people think being a man means being tough all the time, never showing emotion, never bending. But real strength is knowing when to be gentle, when to listen, when to care. It takes true confidence to show compassion in a world that often rewards coldness and indifference. Compassion starts with understanding. Every person you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. The man next to you at work, the stranger on the street, even the people in your own family. Everyone carries struggles, fears, and pain that you may never see. A man with compassion does not judge too quickly. He does not assume he knows everything about a person based on a single moment. He listens, he pays attention, he seeks to understand before he speaks, because understanding is the foundation of kindness. A strong man uses his power to uplift others, not to tear them down. There is no honor in making others feel small just so you can feel big. A real man doesn't humiliate people, doesn't mock their struggles, and doesn't use his strength to control or intimidate. Instead, he protects, he encourages, he lifts people up when they're down. If you see someone struggling, offer a hand. If you see someone in pain, offer a word of kindness. Being a man is not about being feared, it's about being respected. And nothing earns respect more than a heart that cares. Compassion is also about forgiveness. Life will test you. People will hurt you. Some will betray you. Some will disappoint you. And you will have every reason to be angry, to hold grudges, to seek revenge. But a real man knows that holding on to hate does nothing but poison his own soul. Forgiveness is not about letting people get away with wrong. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of anger. It takes strength to forgive. It takes power to let go. But a man who carries too much hate in his heart will never move forward. And let's not forget, compassion isn't just about how you treat others. It's also about how you treat yourself. Too many men walk around with pain buried inside them, refusing to acknowledge it because they think it makes them weak. But ignoring pain doesn't make it go away. A real man faces his emotions. He doesn't bottle everything up until it explodes. He knows that healing is just as important as hustling. He knows that taking care of his mental and emotional well-being isn't a weakness. It's a necessity. Compassion is especially important when it comes to family. A father who lacks compassion raises children who struggle to express their emotions. A husband who lacks compassion creates distance instead of closeness in his marriage. A son who lacks compassion forgets the sacrifices his parents made for him. If you truly love your family, show them. Show them with your words. Show them with your patience. Show them with your presence. Love isn't just something you say, it's something you show through your actions every single day. At the core of compassion is one simple truth. Life is not just about you. A real man understands that his purpose is greater than himself. He doesn't live just to serve his own needs. He lives to make a difference in the lives of others. Whether it's through kindness, mentorship, protection, or simple acts of generosity, a man's legacy is not built on what he takes from the world, but on what he gives to it. A real man does not run from responsibility, he embraces it. Responsibility is the foundation of trust, respect, and leadership. It's easy to point fingers, to blame circumstances, or to say that life is unfair, but a man who constantly makes excuses is a man who has no control over his own destiny. A man with responsibility understands that his life, his success, his failures, his relationships are all a reflection of the choices he makes. He doesn't wait for someone else to fix his problems. He steps up. He owns them. He handles his business like a man. Being responsible means being accountable for your words and actions. If you say you're going to do something, you follow through. If you make a mistake, you admit it. There is nothing weaker than a man who refuses to acknowledge when he's wrong. Everyone makes mistakes. What separates a real man from the rest is his willingness to own them. He doesn't lie, he doesn't cover things up, and he doesn't shift the blame to someone else. He faces the consequences of his actions and works to make things right. That's what earns respect. Responsibility is not just about fixing mistakes. It's about taking charge of your own life. Too many men drift through life, waiting for someone to hand them an opportunity, waiting for things to magically get better, waiting for the right time to take action. But a man with responsibility doesn't wait. He moves. He understands that nobody owes him anything, and if he wants something, he has to put in the work. Success, happiness, and stability don't just fall into your lap. They come from effort, from consistency, from taking control of your own fate. A responsible man also takes care of the people around him. If he has a family, he provides for them, not just financially, but emotionally. He is present. He is dependable. He doesn't just show up when it's convenient. He is there when he is needed. If he has children, he understands that being a father isn't just about putting food on the table. It's about being a role model, a teacher, a protector. If he has a partner, he treats them with respect, honesty, and loyalty. Responsibility means recognizing that your actions don't just affect you, they affect everyone who depends on you. One of the hardest parts of responsibility is learning to control your emotions. Life is going to test you. People will push your buttons. There will be moments of anger, frustration, and disappointment. But a responsible man doesn't let his emotions control his actions. He doesn't lash out and regret it later. He doesn't make impulsive decisions that hurt himself or others. He takes a step back, processes his emotions, and responds with clarity and wisdom. Strength isn't about reacting, it's about staying in control. Another key aspect of responsibility is financial discipline. A man who is responsible with his money is a man who secures his future. He doesn't waste his paycheck on things he doesn't need just to impress people who don't matter. He saves, he invests, he plans ahead, because he knows that financial freedom isn't about how much you make, it's about how well you manage what you have. A responsible man doesn't put himself in a position where he has to rely on others to bail him out. He builds stability, not just for himself, but for the people he loves. At the heart of responsibility is the simple truth that your life is yours to lead. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to do the work for you. If you want to be a man of value, a man of respect, a man of purpose, you have to take responsibility for everything in your life. Your mindset, your actions, your choices, your future. It all starts and ends with you. A real man does not bend his morals to fit the situation. He does not change his values based on who's watching. Integrity is about being the same man in the dark as you are in the light. It's about standing firm in your beliefs, even when it's inconvenient, even when it costs you something. In a world where people are always looking for shortcuts, where honesty is often sacrificed for gain, a man with integrity is rare, but he is respected. Because people know that when he gives his word, it means something. Integrity is about honesty, pure, unwavering honesty, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. A man who lies to get ahead will always be looking over his shoulder. A man who deceives others will never truly be at peace. But a man with integrity, he sleeps well at night, because he knows he has nothing to hide, nothing to be ashamed of. His conscience is clear, and his reputation speaks for itself. The truth may not always be comfortable, but it is always right. And a man of integrity chooses right over easy, every single time. A man of integrity does what he says he's going to do. If he makes a promise, he keeps it. If he commits to something, he follows through. There is no room for half measures, no space for empty words, because integrity isn't just about being honest with others, it's about being honest with yourself. When you tell yourself you're going to improve, to work harder, to be better, you do it. No excuses, no backing out. Because if you can't trust yourself, how can you expect anyone else to trust you? Integrity is also about having the courage to stand alone. There will be times in life when doing the right thing makes you unpopular, when people will pressure you to go along with something you know isn't right. But a man of integrity doesn't fold under pressure. He doesn't compromise his values just to fit in. He knows that respect is not earned by following the crowd, it's earned by standing firm, by being unshakable in the face of opposition. Doing the right thing when everyone is watching is one thing. Doing the right thing when no one is watching, that's character. Integrity also means taking responsibility for your mistakes. Nobody is perfect. Nobody gets everything right the first time. But a man of integrity owns up to his failures. He doesn't make excuses. He doesn't shift the blame. He owns it. Because he knows that real growth only happens when you face your flaws, not when you run from them. He learns from his mistakes, corrects them, and moves forward with honor. And in doing so, he earns the respect of everyone around him. A true man of integrity also refuses to take advantage of others. He doesn't manipulate, he doesn't deceive, and he doesn't use people for his own gain. He understands that real success is not built on the backs of others, it's built on honest work. He treats people fairly, whether it's in business, relationships, or friendships, because integrity is about consistency. You don't get to be honest in one area of life and dishonest in another. You either stand for what's right or you don't. At the heart of integrity is this: who are you when nobody's watching? Do you cut corners when you think you can get away with it? Do you twist the truth when it benefits you? Do you stand firm even when it's difficult? A man of integrity knows that his reputation is built over a lifetime, but it can be destroyed in a moment. He guards his name with honesty, with honor, with unwavering principles. Because at the end of the day, money fades, status fades, but integrity, that lasts forever. A man's greatest battle is not with the world, it's with himself. Emotional strength is not about being numb or indifferent. It's about mastering your mind, controlling your reactions, and not letting emotions dictate your decisions. Too many men believe that being strong means never showing emotion, never admitting pain, never expressing what's inside. But real strength is not about suppression, it's about control. It's about feeling every emotion, understanding it, and then choosing how to respond. A man who is ruled by his emotions is a man without control. And a man without control is dangerous to himself and to those around him. The first step to emotional strength is self-awareness. You have to understand yourself before you can master yourself. What triggers you? What makes you angry? What makes you anxious, insecure, or frustrated? If you don't understand what's happening inside you, you will always be at the mercy of your emotions. Self-awareness allows you to step back, analyze the situation, and respond with logic instead of impulse. It allows you to say, I feel this emotion, but I don't have to act on it. And that is power. Emotional strength is also about patience. Life will test you. People will frustrate you. Plans will fall apart. But a man who reacts impulsively to every challenge will always find himself in trouble. Have you ever seen a man ruin a relationship because he couldn't control his anger? Lose an opportunity because he let frustration cloud his judgment? A real man learns to pause, to breathe, to think before he speaks. Patience is not weakness, it is discipline. And discipline is what separates the weak from the strong. Another key to emotional strength is resilience. Life is not fair. There will be setbacks, failures, betrayals. But a man with emotional strength does not crumble under pressure. He adapts. He doesn't drown in self-pity when things go wrong. He doesn't waste time complaining about what should have happened. He focuses on what can be done. Resilience is the ability to take a hit, stand back up and keep moving forward. It's about understanding that every failure is a lesson, every loss is an opportunity to grow, and a man who learns from pain becomes unstoppable. Emotional strength is also about knowing when to let go. Some battles are not worth fighting. Some people are not worth arguing with. A man who is emotionally strong does not waste his energy on things that do not serve him. He doesn't hold grudges. He doesn't chase people who don't respect him. He understands that peace is more valuable than proving a point. Walking away from negativity is not weakness, it is wisdom. And wisdom is the mark of a true leader. Confidence is another key part of emotional strength. But confidence is not about arrogance or pretending to be perfect. It's about knowing your worth without needing validation from anyone else. A man who is truly confident does not let criticism break him. He does not let failure define him. He does not shrink himself to make others comfortable. Confidence is quiet. It's the ability to stand tall even when nobody is cheering for you. It's the ability to believe in yourself even when the world doubts you. A man with emotional strength knows who he is, and that is enough. At the heart of emotional strength is balance. A real man is neither cold nor overly reactive. He feels deeply, but thinks clearly. He stands firm, but knows when to be gentle. He leads with confidence, but listens with humility. He does not let emotions rule him, but he does not run from them either. He understands that true power is not in avoiding emotion, but in mastering it. Because a man who controls his mind, his reactions, and his emotions, that is a man who controls his destiny. Discipline is what separates a man with potential from a man who achieves greatness. It is the foundation of success, the structure that holds everything together. Without discipline, talent is wasted, dreams remain unfulfilled, and goals stay out of reach. A real man understands that motivation comes and goes, but discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It's showing up, putting in the work, even when you don't feel like it. It's saying no to distractions, temptations, and shortcuts because you know that real success requires consistency. A disciplined man does not wait for the right mood to take action. He doesn't need the perfect moment to begin. He understands that if he only worked hard on the days he felt like it, he would never achieve anything. That's why he sticks to his commitments, whether it's in his career, his relationships, or his personal growth. He knows that success is built in the small daily habits, the workouts when no one is watching, the extra hours of study, the disciplined budgeting, the moments of self-control. Discipline is not about feeling, it's about doing. Self-control is a key part of discipline. A man who cannot control his impulses will always struggle. Whether it's food, spending money, reacting emotionally, or chasing instant gratification, lack of discipline leads to regret. A disciplined man doesn't let short-term desires ruin long-term success. He practices restraint. He understands that just because something feels good now doesn't mean it's good for him later. He plays the long game. He chooses what is right over what is easy. Because the easy path leads nowhere, but discipline leads to victory. Discipline is also about focus. The world is full of distractions, social media, entertainment, bad influences, negativity. If you allow yourself to be pulled in every direction, you'll never make progress. A disciplined man is laser focused on his mission. He doesn't waste time on meaningless drama, pointless arguments, or things that do not add value to his life. He protects his time, his energy, and his mind. He knows that every moment spent on distractions is a moment stolen from his goals. So, he locks in. He eliminates excuses. He refuses to let outside noise take him off course. Another key aspect of discipline is accountability. A real man doesn't make excuses for his failures. He learns from them. He doesn't blame others, complain about circumstances, or wait for someone else to push him. He takes full responsibility for his actions. If he fails, he doesn't dwell on it. He adapts. If he falls off track, he corrects himself. He understands that discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about getting back up every time you slip. It's about refusing to quit, no matter how many setbacks come your way. Discipline also builds resilience. Life will test you. There will be days when nothing goes your way, when you feel like giving up, when progress feels slow. But discipline is what keeps you going. It's what separates the weak from the strong. A man who lacks discipline will quit when things get tough. A man with discipline pushes through. He understands that growth happens in the struggle. He embraces discomfort because he knows that pain is temporary, but progress is permanent. At the core of discipline is this truth: success is not given, it is earned. And it is earned through the small, consistent, daily efforts that most people overlook. It's not about talent, luck, or waiting for the perfect time. It's about showing up every single day and doing what needs to be done. A disciplined man builds himself. He sharpens his mind. He strengthens his body. He controls his habits. And because of that, he rises above the rest. At the end of the day, being a real man isn't about money, status, or how many people know your name. It's about character. It's about the way you carry yourself, the values you stand on, and the impact you leave behind. A perfect man isn't perfect because he never fails. He's perfect because he never stops growing, never stops pushing, never stops becoming better than he was yesterday. He builds himself brick by brick through discipline, integrity, emotional strength, and responsibility. A real man doesn't just talk about greatness, he lives it. He doesn't just want respect, he earns it. He doesn't wait for opportunities, he creates them. He stands for something, even when it's unpopular. He stays committed, even when it's difficult. He keeps moving forward, even when the road is uncertain. Because he understands that true success, real, lasting success, is built on who you are, not just what you achieve. Life will test you. It will try to break you. There will be moments when you want to quit, when everything feels like it's against you. But in those moments, remember who you are. Remember what you're made of. Remember that the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is the willingness to keep going when others stop. A real man does not fold under pressure, he rises above it. The world doesn't need more men who follow the crowd, who chase empty validation, who live without purpose. It needs leaders. It needs men who set the standard, who lift others up, who refuse to compromise their principles. It needs men who build legacies, who create impact, who leave behind something greater than themselves. Be that man, because at the end of your life, when it's all said and done, it won't be about what you had, it will be about who you were, the lives you touched, the respect you earned, the example you set. So ask yourself, what kind of man will you be? Because the choice is yours, and the time is now.